Now into D3Hoops.com Classic here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Another D3Hoops.com Classic conversation. I'm Pat Coleman of D3 Hoops, and we're talking with Matt Johnson, junior guard for Concordia-Moorhead. I want to make sure you stay in the frame with me, sir. First off, I don't know if you have been told yet, but you were a member of the D3Hoops.com Classic All-Tournament team, so congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great performances both nights. I want to talk a little bit about, coming out here, winning against Ramapo, and then a really tough battle against UW Platteville. But I also want to talk about the fact that, you transferred into Concordia this year. You started your career at an NAIA school. What made you decide to look elsewhere? What made you decide to land on Concordia?
Yeah, I had a great 3 years out at UMary in Bismarck. They played in the NSIC. It's a great conference, great competition. And after my 3 years, there was a coaching change and everything, and it was just time for me to get a new start, get a new place. And I had previously a relationship with Coach Borman, so it was a great fit. My dad and my sister are both Concordia alums, so it just was everything aligned for me to end up there, and it's been a great fit for me so far.
Oh, and my apologies. Right, University of Mary's an NCAA D2 school now. Yep. I lost track of that. You come from Fergus Falls. Fergus Falls, obviously, well within that kind of Concordia footprint. Did you ever think about anything else if you were thinking about coming to D3?
No, not really. I mean, I just knew, like, when I left Mary, that was the place for me. I mean, I talked to a couple other schools, but I just knew at the end of the day, like, I believed in what Coach Borman was doing here, and that's something I really want to be a part of.
What's it like playing for him, right? He's a relatively young guy. He's an alum of Concordia himself, and everybody is trying to kind of bring that program back to prominence.
Yeah, I mean, he's a tough, gritty guy, and that's basketball I love to play. That's how we played in Fergus Falls, and so that's just great for me and the guys. Like, that's something we've really bought into this year. And I mean, tonight we didn't come out with a W, but we can look at the film, come back, and see what we need to improve on.
Remind me, what class is Fergus Falls in Minnesota?
It's a 2A now, 2A.
Okay. So when you guys are going to, sub-regions, regions, sections, et cetera, state tournament, you're competing with the likes of?
When I was around, we were 3A, actually. And so one year we played the state championship game against De La Salle. Yeah. They were on like a 6-peat, I think, or something like that. So that's
De La Salle class of 90. That's the whole reason I asked this question. All right. But I want to ask you, okay, we'll get away from that for a second. So what's it like kind of, just first off, being a guy who's going to be handling the ball all the time and then having this completely new group of teammates to try to figure out?
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky this May, starting in May. I actually moved in with a buddy in Fargo-Moorhead, and so I was able to just be around the summer, play open gyms. I wasn't there all the time, but I was able to just get to know the guys. Jackson Jangula, actually, we were the same class, and so we played in the same AU program, so that was good. I knew him coming in, and then the rest of the guys, they're great guys, easy to get along with.
I think we were really impressed by, your performance tonight. I mean, this is and I'm talking about the game that Concordia lost to Platteville 81-65, but, just hung with those guys athletically, the big guys like Inninger off the bench and Nelson and Huber. I thought those guys all really, stood up and competed toe-to-toe with, one of the best teams in one of the best conferences in D3.
For sure. I mean, they're a great squad. I know Coach Gard does a great job with them, and it's just respect to them. Like, they play better than we did tonight, so that's something we can look into, and just, like, that's what we want to be one day.
All right, so you guys come back off of this trip, and then you have 4 consecutive road games. We've talked a little bit on the broadcast about the geography of the MIAC and, the fact that, teams have tough roads to go when they go to you guys, but basically almost every road game for you guys is a really long trip.
Yeah, I mean, that's something we're used to now, and that's, like, we love that. We love getting on the road, love getting on the bus together. Like, that's just great team bonding time for us, so we enjoy that.
Right, so it's like, I forget the order, but you got Carleton, St. John's, Hamlin, and McAllister. 3 of those teams are considered really strong contenders in that league this year.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Obviously this is your first trip through that league, so I'm not going to ask you about your previous memories playing Carleton or Mac or St. John's or anything, but what are you expecting? What have you heard from the team, that sort of thing, about what's coming up for you guys?
I mean, they're all coached well, they're all big, and they're physical, and so that's just a challenge for us, just like Platteville was tonight. Like, just show up every night, guard, defend, and then, make plays the last 4 minutes and find a way to win games.
Do you have 1 year left, or do you have 2 years? You must have 2 years of eligibility left, right?
Yeah, I have. Well, I'll have this year, next year. That's
right.
It. Yep.
Right, a COVID year, and right, exactly. So you've got a chance to go through this all together and help, bring this team back into the conference, the conference conversation, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, our end goal is make conference tournament, and at that point, like, you can flip a coin and anybody can win any night. Like McAllister last year, I think, was a 6 seed, and they played in the championship game and almost beat St. John's. So, I mean, it's great for us.
All right, he knows the important stuff about the MIAC. That is exactly true. That's what McAllister did last year. He's Matt Johnson, junior guard for Concordia-Moorhead here at the D3Hoops.com Classic in Las Vegas, Nevada.